The 14th of October, 1944. Formosa Strait, between Taiwan and Philippines, 5:42 a.m. The morning mist hangs over calm waters like a shroud. 23 miles away, invisible beyond Earth's curvature, 4 Japanese destroyers steam in perfect formation. Their crews eat breakfast rice, unaware they have minutes to live. Vice Admiral Takeo Kurita stands on the bridge of the heavy cruiser Atago, studying intelligence reports. American battleships detected far to the south, too far to matter. He lights his morning cigarette, exhales slowly into the humid air. The Americans have revealed their position, he tells Captain Araki, his chief of staff. Their new Iowa-class battleships, impressive on paper, but still bound by laws of physics. Maximum gun range may be 18 miles in perfect conditions. We're 25 miles away, might as well be on the moon. Araki nods, pointing to the chart. Their 16-inch guns are just bigger versions of old designs. Weight of shell means rainbow trajectory past 15 miles. Accuracy becomes lottery. Why Americans build such wasteful weapons? Kurita chuckles, remembering his days at Naval Academy. Americans believe bigger is better. They don't understand elegance. Our long-lance torpedoes kill at 25 miles. Their guns, loud thunder signifying nothing at our range. 23 miles south, the USS Iowa's Combat Information Center glows with radar screens and plotting boards. Fire Control Officer Commander Robert Hopkins speaks calmly into the intercom. Solution computed. Range, 42,000 yards. Target speed, 28 knots. Bearing, 347. Captain John McCrea reviews the firing solution. 4 Japanese destroyers, beyond visual range, beyond the horizon itself. About to discover that American engineers had broken the rules Kurita learned at Academy, what the Japanese Navy didn't know was that they were about to witness the debut of the most sophisticated naval artillery system ever created. The age of knife-fight naval combat was ending. The war at sea was about to become mathematics. Brooklyn Navy Yard, New York. June, 1938. The blueprints spread across the table look impossible. Bureau of Ships Engineers stare at specifications that defy belief. 16-inch guns, yes, but not just bigger guns. A complete revolution in naval artillery. The Mark 7 gun. 68 feet long, 267,000 pounds each, 9 guns total, 3 turrets, 1,700 tons per turret. But the guns are just the beginning. The real revolution is invisible. Chief designer Robert Hepburn explains to skeptical admirals, "Gentlemen, we're not building bigger guns. We're building a computer that happens to shoot." The Mark 8 fire control computer weighs 3,150 pounds, uses mechanical computation, gyroscopes, electrical circuits, tracks 37 different variables simultaneously: target speed, wind, Earth's rotation, barrel wear, powder temperature, humidity, even the Magnus effect on spinning shells. Admiral Harold Stark interrupts. "You're telling me this machine can hit moving targets beyond visual range? Admiral, this system can hit targets beyond the horizon, 20+ miles. Accurately." The room erupts in laughter. Rear Admiral Samuel Robinson pounds the table. "Impossible. Gunnery is art, not science. Requires human intuition, experience. Machine cannot replace trained eye. First tests, December 1939. Disaster. Mark 7 gun explodes on test stand. Breach failure. 3 technicians killed. Investigation reveals metallurgical flaw. New process required for gun steel. Delays program 6 months. Second test, June 1940. Gun fires successfully, but accuracy abysmal. Shells landing miles from target. Problem: mechanical computer can't handle vibration from firing. Entire system needs shock mounting. More delays. Congress threatens cancellation. $50 million spent. Nothing to show. Senator Walsh declares, Navy wasting money on Buck Rogers fantasies while real war approaches. Bureau of Ordnance makes desperate decision. Brings in civilian expertise. Ford Instrument Company, makers of bomb sights. General Electric for electrical systems. MIT for computational theory. Engineer Harold Hastings from Ford discovers critical flaw. Computer calculating correctly but not accounting for projectile deformation in flight. 16-inch shells, 2,700 pounds each, actually change shape from air pressure, affects trajectory. Solution: pre-calculate deformation tables. 10,000 test firings, each recorded, analyzed. Data becomes part of computer's mechanical memory. By December 1941, system still problematic. Test firing achieves 18-mile range, but accuracy only 10% at maximum distance. Admirals recommend abandoning extreme range capability. Focus on conventional combat distances. Nobody imagined that desperate engineers, working through Pearl Harbor, attack and after, would solve the last pieces of the puzzle. The impossible was about to become routine. The 16th of February 1943. USS Iowa commissioned. First combat deployment to Pacific. Marshall Islands operation. First combat use of Mark 7 guns. Target: Japanese installations on Kwajalein. Range: 12 miles. Should be easy. Complete failure. First salvo misses by 800 yards. Second salvo overcorrects, misses by 600 yards opposite direction. Fire control computer giving conflicting solutions. Radar ranging disagreeing with optical. Captain McCrea orders cease fire after wasting 48 precious 16-inch shells. Japanese radio intercept. Translated: American super battleship Iowa failed to hit stationary island from 12 miles. Confirming intelligence assessment. Iowa-class propaganda exceeds capability. After-action report brutal. Admiral Raymond Spruance writes, Iowa's gunnery system too complex for combat conditions. Recommend simplification or replacement. Gun crews demoralized. Months of training wasted. The most expensive battleship ever built can't hit barn door. Newspapers get wind. Chicago Tribune headline. Navy's billion-dollar blunder. Super battleship can't shoot straight. Chief gunner's mate Jim Brady refuses to accept defeat. Studies every shot, every miss. Discovers pattern. Computer working perfectly. Problem is input data. Radar giving precise range but to wrong part of ship. Computer thinking target closer than actual. Brady jury-rigs solution. Manually offsets radar data by calculated amount. Kludge, but it works. March 1943. Wake Island bombardment. Brady's fix in place. Iowa opens fire at 18 miles. First salvo straddles target. Second salvo direct hits. Japanese ammunition dump explodes. Visible from Iowa despite being beyond horizon. Word spreads through fleet. Iowa can shoot accurately beyond visual range. October 1944. Formosa Strait. The revolution complete. New Mark 8 Mod 2 computer installed. All bugs fixed. Integration perfect. Radar, computer, guns working as single system. Iowa detects 4 Japanese destroyers at 45,000 yards, 25 miles. Beyond maximum range but within computational possibility. Commander Hopkins proposes impossible. Captain, we can reach them. 23 miles. They'll never know what hit them. McCrea hesitates. Waste of ammunition if misses. But Hopkins confident. Sir, the computer says we can do it. Trust the machine. 5:44. Iowa's turret. 2. Rotates. 3 mark. 7 rifles elevate to 45 degrees. Maximum elevation. Shells will climb to 50,000 feet, technically becoming space objects, before falling back to Earth. Fire. The sound is indescribable, not explosion, more like sky tearing. 3 2,700-pound shells leave muzzles at 2,500 feet per second. Friction turns air around shells into plasma. Glowing projectiles arc into stratosphere. Flight time, 8-9 seconds. Aboard destroyer Novaki, lookout reports distant thunder. Clear sky, no storm. Captain Kiyoshi dismisses it. Americans firing at something else. We're beyond any possible range. 5 hours, 45 minutes, and 29 seconds. 3 columns of water erupt around Nowaki. Near misses. Bridge crew stunned. From where? No ships visible. No aircraft. Radar operator reports. Projectiles came from bearing 170, but nothing there. Just empty ocean. Before anyone can respond, second salvo arrives. Direct hit. Nowaki's magazine detonates. Ship disappears in fireball. Destroyer Hayashimo frantically radios. Under attack by invisible enemy. Nowaki destroyed. Position unknown. Cannot see attacker. Iowa fires third salvo. Hayashimo splits in half. Destroyers Akishimo and Shimotsuki attempt evasive action. Useless. Can't evade what you can't see from enemy you can't locate. 6 minutes. 4 salvos. 4 destroyers gone. 2,800 Japanese sailors dead. Iowa's crew never saw their targets. Targets never saw Iowa. Admiral Kurita receives frantic reports, refuses to believe initially. 23 miles? Impossible, must be submarines. But survivor testimony consistent. Shells came from sky. High angle, only possible from guns. Guns firing from beyond horizon. Kurita's war diary, recovered post-war. Today, warfare changed. Americans can kill what they cannot see. We are fighting blind against enemy with eyes. How do you fight thunder from beyond Earth's curve? The 25th of October, 1944. Battle of Samar. Japanese center force encounters American escort carriers. Admiral Kurita has superiority. Battleship Yamato, 3 battleships, 8 cruisers. Should be slaughter, but Kurita hesitates. Remembers Formosa Strait. Where is Iowa? Radar shows nothing beyond gun range. But Iowa's gun range is beyond radar range. Paralysis. Every distant explosion might be Iowa's shells arriving. Kurita orders evasive maneuvers against enemy that might not exist. Speed drops. Formation breaks. American destroyer escorts attack with torpedoes. Normally suicide against battleships, but Kurita's force maneuvering against Phantom Iowa. Confused. Vulnerable. Kurita retreats. Victory within grasp abandoned because of fear of invisible thunder. Post-battle, Kurita court-martialed for cowardice. His defense. How do you fight enemy that kills from beyond horizon? Every moment expecting death from empty sky. It breaks men's minds. November 1944. Iowa demonstrates maximum range for naval observers. Target towed sled 32 miles away. Beyond radar range. Spotter aircraft provides coordinates. Iowa fires. 9 shells. 9 hits. Observers cannot believe. Admiral Willis Lee. We've made surface combat obsolete. Why close to torpedo range when we can kill from next time zone? Japanese naval intelligence analysis. Captured 1,945. American battleship Iowa represents paradigm shift. Not bigger gun, but integrated system. Radar sees beyond horizon. Computer calculates impossible mathematics. Guns execute with precision. One ship can control 100 square miles of ocean. Recommendation. Avoid surface engagement at any range. Iowa can hit targets at 23 miles accurately, possibly 32 miles with aerial spotting. No defense exists. The Iowa system represented American warfare philosophy. Japanese believed in warrior spirit, getting close, personal combat, ship versus ship, man versus man. Americans believed in systems, integration, mathematics. Why get close when you can kill from beyond horizon? Japanese trained gunners for 20 years. Artists reading wind, feeling ship roll, intuiting solutions. Americans built computer. Takes 18-year-old farm boy. Push buttons, follow procedures. Computer does calculus. Admiral Isoroku Yamamoto had warned before his death. Americans don't fight wars. They solve engineering problems that happen to involve killing. Iowa proved him right. Gunnery became geometry. Combat became computation. Revolutionary impact went beyond battleships. Entire Navy adopts computerized fire control. Destroyers, cruisers, even submarines. By 1945, American ships hitting targets no human could calculate solutions for. Japanese prisoner, Commander Toshio Abe. We trained lifetime to estimate range, deflection, lead. Americans gave job to machine. Machine never tired, never scared, never wrong. We were samurai. They were systems engineers. The 27th of August 1945. Tokyo Bay. Iowa anchored for surrender ceremony. Japanese naval officers tour ship, shown fire control center, banks of computers, radar scopes, plotting boards, Captain Yamamoto Ichiro, surveying equipment. This is not warship. This is floating laboratory that happens to have guns. American fire control officer responds, "That's exactly what it is." Yamamoto studies Mark 8 computer. 3,000 pounds of gears, cams, differentials. Mechanical brain that can solve differential equations in real time. "We never had chance," he says quietly. "We brought swords to mathematics competition." Final statistics. Iowa's maximum confirmed kill, 23.6 miles. Theoretical maximum range, 32.5 miles. Shells fired at beyond visual range, 2,847. Hit percentage at 20 plus miles, 34%. Japanese ships sunk beyond horizon, 11. Japanese sailors killed by invisible fire, 4,200 plus. The 14th of October, 1944 revisited. Admiral Kurita's morning cigarette interrupted by report of destroyers lost. 4 ships vanished in 6 minutes. No enemy visible. He never smoked another morning cigarette. Developed nervous condition. Would scan empty horizon constantly, waiting for death from beyond Earth's curve. His final interview, 1969. "You ask about Iowa. I never saw Iowa. Nobody saw Iowa. We just died from Iowa. Thunder would speak from empty sky, and ships would disappear. How do you fight ghost that kills from tomorrow?" They laughed when Americans built battleship with guns too big, computers too complex, range too extreme. Called it typical American excess, compensation for inferior warrior spirit. They stopped laughing when ships started exploding from shells fired by enemy beyond the horizon. When mathematics replaced marksmanship. When IBM and Ford defeated Bushido. In the end, 4 Japanese destroyers learned terminal lesson. In modern war, the horizon is not safety. It's simply where death becomes invisible. The Iowa didn't fight battles. It solved targeting problems that happened to involve sinking ships. The computer would hum, the guns would thunder, and 23 miles away, men would die without ever seeing their killer. The age of warrior combat was over. The age of mathematical murder had begun, and the thunder spoke from beyond the horizon, where no samurai could reach, where no torpedo could swim, where only differential equations and 16-inch shells could travel. The ocean belonged no longer to those who sailed it, but to those who could compute across its curve.